Alright, in this session we're going to be drawing the geometry of exercise number 2. To get started on that, let me go back to my drawing. Again, I'm going to say this one more time. Please print out a drawing and have that in front of you and follow along as I am doing the exercise. That is going to be the best way for you to learn. By watching this video, it's not going to teach you anything until you practice, until you start to make errors yourself and learn how to fix them. You are not going to learn by just watching this video. You have to practice what I'm preaching. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be drawing again half of this geometry because the other half is symmetrical to it. Remember that. And I'm going to be doing a revolve after I'm done with it. So let's go ahead and draw half of that. First, I'm going to notice that my origin starts 0, 0 on this corner right here. So first, I'm going to be drawing a line that's going to be extending out. And then another line up here. Another line. And then I'll show you how to connect this one to this one. But basically what I'm going to be doing is drawing my circle and then connecting my circle to this line right here. That's the easiest way possible for you to draw that line. And then from here to here is actually, I'm going to be placing a point up here, which is going to be y equal 3, and x is going to be equal to 0.7 or 0.75, and then connecting them by this radius. And I'll show you how to create this radius right here. Okay? And then we'll create this a slot right here all the way up to here. Once we have this all done, that's when we know our entire part geometry is created. I'm going to minimize this real quick and I'm going to open up SolidWorks. Now this is the drawing in SolidWorks. The reason why I have mine open in SolidWorks is because it allows me to just zoom in and out easier than the PDF, and it just helps me teach you a little bit better. So don't mind that. I'm just going to be opening up SolidWorks whenever I need to go back to my drawing. But for you, have that drawing in front of you. So let's get started on that. I'm going to come over here and just make sure you start a new file. Make sure it's in 3D construction plane. Okay, we are drawing a geometry for 3D use. We're going to be making a model out of it. Okay, and then make sure Z is in 0. And let's go ahead and for this time change the wireframe color. Okay, so let's go ahead and say we want a red color for the wireframe and then click on OK. So now whenever you draw any lines, they're going to show up in red. So they're going to be a little bit more clear than that dark blue we've chosen in our first exercise. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so first and foremost, again, I have the drawing in front of me and I'll try to go back and forth as much as I can, but please follow along. So I'm going to be drawing this first line from the origin 0, 0 all the way up to here, which is going to be an inch. Okay, then I'm going to be drawing a line up ½ inch, and then from left to the right over here, this little line right here, which I'll go back to my SolidWorks so you can see it a little bit better. This right here is going to be 0.15. So 1 inch, 0.5, and then 0.15. Okay? I'm going to minimize this and let's get started on that. So go ahead and click on line, click on your origin, move it anywhere to the right. You can either move it to the right or change this as you move it. So I'm going to move it to the right, click anywhere. While it's light blue, change this to 1, hit enter. Click on apply. And now you're ready to go to the next line. The next line is going to be from the origin and then up. And that's going to be 0.5. There you go. Apply to accept it. Again, left click. And this one's going to be 0.15. And then click on OK to accept that. And then OK to exit this. Now all we've done so far is create this. 1 line, 2, and 3. So now we want to create this line right here. Now there's multiple ways you could do this. You can actually create a line from here to here and state that it is a 45-degree line, or you can actually create your circle that you have if you know the location, the exact location of that circle, and then connect it by that line. So that's the best way that I would do it. I already know that there's a circle over here, and I know it's midway point of the circle. You can connect it to this line. So let's go ahead and do this. This circle is, I already know it's 0.25 in radius, and the location of it is going to be 0.4 in x and 1 in y. So let's go ahead and do that. Create your circle, click on circle. Let's give it a location, 0.4 in x and then 1 in y. And remember, it had a radius of 0.25. Hit enter. And then you're going to see your circle right here. Okay, so just click on OK. Oh, it did not appear. I'm gonna keep any mistakes I've done in this video so I can show you guys how to fix them. Now, I must have either not hit apply or missed a step. So I'm gonna go back to my circle, do it again, 0.4 by 1. Okay, and I've already accepted this, so there you go. And then I'm gonna click on 0.25 and hit enter, and there you go. So I probably forgot to hit enter or it didn't click with me. And click on apply to accept it. So there you go, you just created your circle. So next up, I want to draw a line from here to here. So click on the line again, zoom in, click on the bottom of the circle, and connect it to that line. Click on apply to accept it, and then OK. So there you go. So we'll be cutting a piece of this circle a little bit later. But for now, let's keep going with our sketch. I'm going to click on fit the screen. And then if you want to zoom out so you can see the screen a little bit better, zoom out. Then hold shift and press the up key to move it, and then press the right key to move it to the left. Okay? The only reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to place a point right now on the sketch to be able to connect this circle to the point. And let's learn how to do that. Okay? So again, go back to your drawing, and then you're going to notice that there's a point right over here in this section. So let me go back to my SolidWorks again, just so I can zoom into that area. So there's going to be this point. Now you won't notice it in this one, but the main reason I'm pointing out that point is because I want to use this to be able to draw my radius. So that point is going to be, if I follow my dimensioning all the way down, this line right here is going to be 0.75 in the X and then 3 in Y. So let's go ahead and create a point in that section right there, in that area right there. So 0.75 by 3.0. Minimize this real quick. Go over here until you see create point position. So go ahead and click on the plus to create the point position, and go ahead and type in 0.75 by 3.0 by 0 and then hit enter. And you're going to see a point created right there. And then just click on OK to accept that. So there we go. Now that we created this point, we want to connect those two by an arc. So come over here to the left side over here under the circle. Click the down arrow and then select create arc endpoint. Okay, so come over here, click on the circle, the top of the circle, and then go ahead and click on the endpoint right here. And you're going to notice that you're able to, you're not holding the mouse, so don't worry, you're just dragging the mouse back and forth, and you're going to see you're able to create any radius that you want. Now make sure you're at the right position. If you notice, if you go this way or this way, the radiuses stay the same. They stay positive. Okay, so they're not going to be different. So you want to make sure that you're on the right side or the left side, depending where you want that radius to be. So I'm going to make sure I'm at the right side over here, and I'm going to click. Okay, and then I'm going to come over here and change my radius, okay, to whatever I have my radius in my drawing. So I'm going to go back to my drawing, and I'm going to see that I have a radius of 3.0. So come over here and change this to 3.0. There you go. You're going to see it gets smaller because that means the circle is much bigger. It was before on 1 point something. Then you change it to 3.0. It became smaller. It wasn't as wide. And that's because the circle, that just means that the circle is much bigger. Click on apply and click on OK. So go back to your drawing and compare that. Make sure that you have that right. It looks right. And it does so far. So there you go, everything looks good. And now we're ready for the next steps. So I'm going to go back to SolidWorks right now, so I can zoom into this area so I can see what I need to do. Now, the next step that I'm going to create is this circle right here, because that would make it easier for me to connect this point to this circle and then this circle to the end right here. Okay, so let me go ahead and minimize this real quick. Or before I do this, make sure that you know the radius of the circle is 0.125. So you're creating a circle that has a radius of 0.125 and has a x-axis position. Okay, this is the position for it. So it's 0.7 in x and 3.125 in y. So let's go ahead and create that. So click on the down arrow and go back to creating circle. Let's go ahead and create that. So it's going to be 0.7 by 3.125. Okay, and then after that you hit enter. If you move your mouse over here, you're going to notice that it's already gave it a location. And right now for the radius, it's going to be 0.125 and hit enter. Oops, I created, and I got an expression error. And the reason for that is because I mistyped my, I put a backward slash after the 0.125 and I got an error from that. I'm going to keep this in this video just so I can show you guys. To fix it, all you have to do is go back over here, type in 0.125 again and hit enter. There you go, it created my circle for me. Now if I zoom in over here real quick, you're going to notice the circle just like I wanted. So this is a radius of 0.125, just like I wanted. And then now I'm going to click on apply to accept it. I'm going to zoom out real quick and I'm going to create my line that's going to be from the bottom here all the way past my part. The reason for that is because I'm going to now create lines that are going to be connected to this. Okay, remember in here I'm drawing half of my part, so I need to draw anything from the middle here all the way out and have this connect or stop right where this ends basically. Okay, so I need to make sure that I know where this is. Okay, this point is. So go ahead and minimize this and let's go ahead and create some lines that are connecting the circle to the point. So this circle to right here, and then again zoom out real quick, this circle to the line. So you're going to notice that it doesn't actually snap onto here, so just go ahead and go past it because we'll be cutting those lines anyway, and click on apply and OK. And let's go ahead and do some trimming now to clean things up a little bit. Okay, so go ahead and click on your trim break extend tool and then make sure that your divide delete button is selected. Zoom out and then start by selecting the areas that you don't want, okay, including the inside of the circle. Make sure you zoom in a little bit so you can get the circle. I'm gonna zoom out again, or if you know, the only thing that I'm not a big fan of in MasterCam is the zoom out. You actually have to go down to zoom in and out. If you're out of the screen, you have to go back and click on fit to screen to be able to get back to the whole view. So that's probably going to be your best friend. Make sure you always click fit to screen. Whenever you're zooming in and out, sometimes you lose areas that you were working on. So just make sure you always click fit to screen to go back to the entire geometry. So go ahead and also delete these two right here. Okay, and then go back. Again, go back to your drawing and make sure that everything here, everything that you see matches it just like you see it. But remember, you're not drawing the entire geometry right now. You're just drawing half of it, and you're making sure that half of this geometry looks exactly as it should. And as you can see, it looks exactly the same. Alright, now that we're done with our geometry, I want to show you guys how to move this part from here, and I want to actually make this center right here, the center of the part, the actual geometry, in the origin. So instead of the end being the origin now, I want to make my geometry having this being the center. And I'll show you why a little bit later on in this exercise. Okay, so to do so, there's a nice feature called move to origin. So to use it, go ahead and left click at the bottom right of the drawing and then drag your mouse. I didn't do it. I'm gonna click on escape. I was in another feature. If you click and you're trying to select something and it's not selected, it's usually because you've clicked on a feature and you forgot to exit it. So make sure you always press escape whenever your mouse is stuck on something and you can't select something. It's usually because you've selected something else over here, and the notification does not show as clear as if you're designing a geometry in yellow and all of that. So sometimes you just have to press escape and you exit out of whatever you were doing last. So go ahead and left click at the bottom right and drag the box and let go and click on the top left. You're gonna have everything selected, and then come over here. There's an option called X-Form Move to Origin. So if you just click on it, it's basically asking you to select where you want to what part of the geometry you want to move to the origin. So basically right now I have this corner in the origin, and what I want to do is move this corner to be at the origin. Well, really all you have to do is select this bottom right corner and you're gonna see your model move to the origin right there. That's it. That's all you have to do. Okay, and if you notice that your drawing color switches, all you have to do is come over here. There's an option called clear colors, and it will clear it, brings it back to the original color that you've selected for it, which was red. All right, this concludes this session. In our next session, we're going to be learning how to create the geometry on a different level and a different plane. All right, the geometry that's going to be basically telling your part to be cut through the middle. So the parts the only parts that we've forgotten so far is this part right here. There's going to be a big hole that are going to be cut from the inside, and another hole that's going to be on the inside as well right here. That's going to be cut all the way up to 3 inches. So in our next session, we're going to learn how to create geometries on a different plane just for those.